Welcome. Let's take up some photos first. Would the two secretaries look at the official photographers in the middle? Thank you.
Okay.
First of all, Mr. Arjuna Yao, Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development, and Ms. Mabel Chan, Secretary for Transport and Logistics, will give their respective opening remarks. Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development, please. Citizens, media friends, good afternoon. I will now outline the key measures under the Commerce and Economic Development Bureau in the 2026-27 budget. First, on supporting SMEs. SMEs play a vital role in driving Hong Kong's economy. Amid ongoing geopolitical uncertainties and changing consumption patterns, SMEs face significant challenges. The government is committed to refining various support measures to help SMEs continuously innovate and adapt, thereby enhancing their competitiveness and seizing opportunities to expand into new markets. This year's budget announced an injection of $200 million into the Business Development Fund for Upgrading or Branding, Upgrading, and Domestic Sales, BUD Fund. The funding ceiling per application under EC-BUD will be raised from $100,000 to $150,000. More targeted funding will be provided for the application of artificial intelligence, AI. We are currently finalizing the implementation details of these new measures, which are expected to be launched in the second quarter of this year. Regarding export credit insurance, to assist SMEs in expanding new business, the Hong Kong Export Credit Insurance Corporation, Hong Kong ECIC, will introduce a pilot scheme this year to provide protection for SMEs engaging in exports with higher risk buyers. The government will continue providing loan guarantees to enterprises through the SME Financing Guarantee Scheme. We have extended the application period for the 80% guarantee product to the end of March 2028, and also extended the application period for the principal moratorium arrangement to mid-November this year. The total loan guarantee commitment under the scheme will increase by $20 billion. On International Trade Center, this year marks the beginning of the National 15th Five-Year Plan. The plan calls for supporting Hong Kong in better integrating into and serving the broader national development landscape, strengthening Hong Kong's economic and trade ties with the mainland, and leveraging Hong Kong's unique advantages and vital role as a bridge between the mainland and the rest of the world. The SAR government will continue to adopt a more proactive, systematic, and comprehensive strategies to attract investment, dovetail with the National 15th Five-Year Plan, and implement a series of measures to consolidate and enhance Hong Kong's status as an international trade center. As our country is advancing with high-level two-way opening up, more mainland enterprises are actively expanding overseas markets. The Task Force on Supporting Mainland Enterprises in Going Global, the Go Global Task Force in short, will coordinate efforts across policy bureaus, departments, and organizations. This initiative integrates Hong Kong's overseas and mainland offices into a one-stop platform, proactively attracting mainland enterprises to leverage Hong Kong as a gateway for global expansion. We will develop diversified solutions for these enterprises while capitalizing on advantages to foster new economic growth points. We will organize promotion activities in Hong Kong and various mainland provinces and cities to attract mainland enterprises to use Hong Kong as their base for global expansion. We will also establish a cross-sector professional service platform, bringing together our professional service providers in legal, accounting, finance, testing and certifications, marketing, and other fields to support enterprises in going global. We will also organize overseas study tours to help mainland enterprises going global understand overseas markets. On expanding trade network, Hong Kong will strengthen its role as the functional node for the Belt and Road Initiative. We will collaborate with industry players to further develop the ASEAN and Middle East markets and explore the potential of Central Asia, South Asia, and North African markets. Meanwhile, we will forge more free trade agreements and investment agreements. We have concluded negotiations of investment agreements with Qatar, Bangladesh, and Peru, respectively, and are exploring the signing of new investment agreements with Saudi Arabia and Egypt. We will continue to reach out to relevant authorities in the Belt and Road regions to seek more project matching opportunities for Hong Kong enterprises and professional services, while encouraging and assisting external organizations to stage road shows in Hong Kong. Outbound missions and project matching activities will also be organized to promote our professional services. On convention and exhibition industry. The convention and exhibition industry is vital to Hong Kong's development as an international trading center. By attracting high-spending overnight business visitors, it creates opportunities for local tourism, retail, dining, and entertainment sectors. At the same time, it fosters overall economic growth, facilitates trade, and promotes various industries and Hong Kong brand. To promote further development of the exhibition industry and brand building as an international convention and exhibition hub, the government will earmark $100 million for attracting large-scale international exhibitions with new elements to Hong Kong through collaborating with relevant organizations on a pilot basis. Our objective is to develop Hong Kong into the first-choice platform for showcasing mainland and international brands while attracting high-spending business visitors to Hong Kong and driving high value-added economic activities. We are currently formulating the relevant details. On regional IP trading hub, the National 15th Five-Year Plan proposes to drive development through technological innovation. As our INT ecosystem continues to expand, market demand for IP professionals is growing increasingly. Talent cultivation is crucial to our development. To further align with the direction of the 15th Five-Year Plan, the Intellectual Property Department, IPD, together with the Vocational Training Council, VTC, will roll out a 2-year pilot program and establish the Intellectual Property Academy to provide systematic and diversified on-the-job training linked to the qualifications framework. It includes nurturing patent professionals to promote the efficient commercialization and application of scientific research outcomes, thereby meeting the pressing demands of both the private sector and the private market and the public sector. This year's budget is earmarked $52 million to support the establishment and initial 2-year operation of the academy, with plans to commence operation by the end of this year, the earliest. To better leverage our position as a regional IP trading hub, we will not only strengthen talent nurturing, but also refine tax and institutional frameworks, harness professional service advantages, and promote IP transactions and financing to drive economic growth. We are consulting the industry on tax deduction arrangements for capital expenditure related to the purchase of IP and its usage and its rights of use, with plans to submit the proposal to the Legislative Council within this year. On top of that, we launched the IP financing sandbox last year, with Hong Kong's 3 major banks and their clients from biotechnology, electronics, and technology enterprises, as well as legal and professional service institutions participating in pilot projects. We will closely monitor its operation and make follow-up arrangements. Regarding patent valuation support, the Hong Kong Technology and Innovation Support Center, TISC, commenced operation last year. The government has earmarked $28 million to support the center in providing INT enterprises with patent evaluation based on Guobiao GB and implementing the 2-year pilot patent valuation support scheme to assist INT enterprises for conducting valuation of their patent assets. The IPD will continue to expand its patent examination team to enhance its in-house examination capabilities, providing stronger legal protection for research and development outcomes. Furthermore, following the arrangement for mainland enterprises to participate in matching activities in Hong Kong last year, the IPD will collaborate with mainland authorities to organize a Hong Kong IP professionals to participate in mainland business matching projects in the middle of this year. Lastly, on low Earth orbit satellites. Low Earth orbit satellites can support the development of high-end industries. We will actively expand communications infrastructure, streamline licensing systems, and promote 6G applications. That's all from my presentation. I will now give the floor to Secretary for Transport and Logistics. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yao. I will look at the Transport and Logistics Bureau's portfolios in the budget this year. I will highlight the main points. This year marks the beginning of the National 15th Five-Year Plan. The Bureau will continue to align with the national strategies so that we play the role of a super connector and a super value adder. We will, at full steam, develop our railway and major road networks so as to drive development. Transport infrastructure is the main and major engine driving social and economic developments. The transport strategy blueprint forms an 8 vertical and 8 horizontal layout with 5 vertical and 5 horizontal corridors rail layout and a 3 horizontal and 3 vertical corridors major road layout linking the northern metropolis with the urban area. We have the dual innovation mindset of policy innovation and technological innovation. And then for projects like the Kutong Station, Tongchong Line Extension, Hong Shui Kiu Station, Tuen Mun South Extension, Oyster Bay Station, they will be completed progressively from next year onwards. And we are taking forward the Northern Link Main Line and Spur Line at full steam for commissioning simultaneously by 2034 earlier. We are also actively taking forward the Hong Kong-Shenzhen Western Rail Link, Hong Shui Kiu Qianhai project, with the target of inviting tender for the Hong Kong section next year. And then for the Kai Tak Smart and Green Mass Transit System, tender was invited last October. For those projects in East Kowloon and Hong Shui Kiu Ha Chin New Development Area, they will have their tenders invited this year. And then for the Hong Kong railway standards, we would like to ensure railway safety, quality, and performance-based outcomes. So the Hong Kong railway standards have introduced suitable railway standards of the nation and various places in the world, and with adaptation to local circumstances. Take the Northern Loop as an example. We can save construction costs by 20%, and then this rail line can also be completed 2 years in advance. The standards will also be applied to the Hong Kong-Shenzhen Western Rail Link, Hong Shui Kiu Qianhai section, and to be extended to other new railway projects. We have set up the railway checking unit with the specific duty of safeguarding safety and quality standards and enhancing efficiency. Well, from this, you can see that our target is that for first plan submissions, we are going to cut the time taken by 50% and 30% respectively for first submissions and amendment submissions. And we are trying to come up with a new regulatory framework covering different systems, different technologies, and different operators, and we intend to submit a bill within the year to the Legislative Council. And then for transport infrastructure covering major roads, we extend the ideas of the Hong Kong railway standards to the construction of highways and roads. That is, we would like to achieve high efficiency, we want to be innovative, and we want to have safety. Last March, we started the investigation for the Northern Metropolis Highway, and our target is to invite tender for the construction of the 17th section, and we'd like to have it commissioned before 2036. For the investigation for Route 11, it is almost completed, and for the Cheng Long Bridge project, we'd like to have it started first to be commissioned before 2033 or in that year. We'd like to introduce advanced construction technology and materials, and we'll deploy new technologies so as to make sure that we have efficiency and cost saving. And then I would like to talk about the synergy of financial and maritime services. Will continue to align with the national maritime strategic development, and we will elevate our status as an international maritime center. And we would like to cover 3 major areas. First of all, we'll support green maritime transformation. And in fact, decarbonization is the world trend. And in fact, when you try to build new green vessels or retrofit existing ones, there will be substantial capital investment needs. So Hong Kong can leverage our strengths to promote the co-development of financial and maritime centers. Secondly, as far as trade financing is concerned, the Hong Kong MA's Cargo X well, in fact, together with our newly launched PCS Port Community System and the Hong Kong IA Cargo Platform, there's a collaboration. It is a good example of synergy of financial and maritime services. Just this morning, I got a piece of good news. There's over 4,000 companies have registered to use our PCS, the Port Community System. A synergy of the financial and maritime services, when successful, can achieve a synergy, and we can become a world-leading trade financing center and a supply chain hub. And then we'll continue to set up our brand as a ship register. And in fact, we have already will introduce an amendment bill in the first half of this year to enhance tax concession measures for the maritime service industry and provide a high half-rate tax concession to eligible commodities traders. This will promote the development of high-value-added maritime services in Hong Kong. And then we will introduce an amendment bill this year to revamp the existing ship registration arrangements, including permitting dual registration arrangement to cater for the diverse operating models of international maritime enterprises, to consolidate our premier position in ship registration. Well, in fact, we will continue to work together with the Hong Kong Maritime and Port Development Board to explore, facilitate, and promote the synergy of financial and maritime services. And then for the port dues concessions for vessels powered by green fuels and green vessels registration incentive scheme, we believe that in the coming 3 years we can attract 1,000 more visits by the ships for bunkering or berthing, and this can enhance our status. There will be a 3-year incentive scheme in order to facilitate this for existing ships as well as the newly registered vessels. There will be a yearly incentive for 60,000 Hong Kong dollars, and we expect to attract 100 new registrations in relation to green vessels. And of course, we are going to have a new acceleration scheme for the future smart logistics, and we are going to target 100 such enterprises, measuring $30 million. Now, for the 3-runway system at the airport, it has been fully commissioned. Last year, our cargo volume as well as passenger volume grew rapidly and steadily. And the departure facilities of the expanded Terminal 2 will be commissioned on the 27th of May this year. It is expected that 15 airlines will be there, and they will serve 15 million passengers. And we'll continue to step up our training of our talents. We have the Maritime and Aviation Talents Training Scheme, and we will also work together with the Hong Kong International Aviation Academy to nurture talents and to have new blood. Since its establishment in 2017, over 400,000 attendances have been registered. The Academy also signed a memorandum with a company last year so as to train the it is a collaboration with an overseas aeronautic services company, and there will be an aircraft engineering training center to offer a range of professional training courses. And then there will be 300 training places. In fact, this year we'll also work together with the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and we'll launch a new Master of Science in Aviation Management program this year. And it means that we can rely on the international recognition of the academy as well as the strength of TMHK, and we can provide more training for local, mainland, and other regional airports in relation to aviation professionals. We'll continue to attract enterprises and investment for the airport city. And then the autonomous transport system at the Sky City corridor will be commissioned within the year. This is the first commercial project in Hong Kong. And then in 2028, we'll also have the Yacht Bay, and we will be inviting expression of interest this year. And then for the low-altitude economy, this is going to drive our development of Hong Kong as a smart city, and we can have better regional integration. Over 20 projects will be entering a regular and also a regular operation phase. It's more mature, involving lower risk, and doesn't involve crowded areas for the purpose of facade cleaning, cable inspection, and railway facilities. And in fact, we will emphasize cross-boundary routes, passenger carrying flying aircraft, etc. And this year we have the action plan on developing low-altitude economy, and we will consider the technology for the infrastructure, etc. And we'll have smart traffic management. Finally, for the autonomous driving and traffic management platform, we promote the driverless and large-scale development of AVs and move towards commercial operation in a safe and orderly manner. And I'm glad to announce that in March we're going to set up the Autonomous Vehicle Applications Promotion Group. Together with departments and the stakeholders, we're going to take this forward, and we will also look at the progress and needs of individual items, like the venues for testing, vehicle classes, the permits and licenses needed for commercial development. We'll provide supervision, and we will come up with a clear roadmap. And in fact, we are also having a a clear idea about a traffic management platform. In fact, we will make good use of big data. In fact, we'll make use of big data and AI in order to digitalize our traffic management. We'll have it launched in Aberdeen for the in the beginning, and it will be extended to many other places. The platform will collate the traffic data, will project changes, will identify bottlenecks, and will come up with contingency plans so as to help with the citizens' traffic or commuting planning. In the case of emergencies, we can make use of the data analyzed to project the possible impacts, and then we can provide convenience to the users. We'll make good use of technology and innovation to expedite our development, and we will have synergy between financial services and the logistics and shipping industries, and we will benefit the citizens by providing greater convenience. We'll rely on the unique characteristics and advantages of one country, two systems, so that we'll become a shipping center.
The floor is now open for questions. Before you put your question in, please identify your media outlets and please limit yourself to 3 questions. The journalist in the third row. Good afternoon, Secretary. I'm from In Media. I'd like to ask about the expenditure of the CEDB and the ETO. An official was suspected to have violated the national securities law, and the trial will start in March. Will the CEDB fork out the legal fees, and if yes, what is the estimations of the fees involved? Second, I'd like to ask Secretary Chan. It is said that we are going to legislate to mandate wearing of helmets when people are riding bicycles. In 2012, the government made such a proposal. However, legislation was not made in the end. Many people do not agree with the relevant legislation, and people criticize the government for penalizing people with another piece of regulation. Thank you. Well, Thank you for your question on the London ETO. The SAR government will bear the legal fees. As the case is in judice, I am not in the position to give any further comment. Secretary Chan, please. Thank you for your question. In the Transport and Traffic Strategy Action Plan, we want to promote smart commute. We have infrastructures and facilities to develop a bicycle-friendly environment through promotion, publicity, and through building more infrastructures. We want to promote a bicycle-friendly environment for green commute. At the same time, we must protect the safety of bicycle users and other road users. We will focus on promotion and publicity to enhance the safety awareness among our people. We will listen to the views of the community, and hopefully we can achieve a consensus on our work. Thank you. Next question, please. The journalist in black, please.
Okay, so there are pre-budget proposals on introducing AI-related tax deductions, on enhancing tax relief on qualifying capital and training expenditure related to digital transformation for SMEs. So why weren't these adopted? Does the government think the current support for SME is enough? And the budget also earmarks 52 million for the 2-year IP Academy pilot scheme with VTC. Could you detail a bit more on the specific training areas and the exact rollout timeline, and are there any partnership beyond VTC? And then for transport, a question for the autonomous vehicles policies. Could you expand a bit more on the policy? Thank you.
So thanks for the question regarding the support for SME and AI. SME is very important to the Hong Kong business. 90% of the companies in Hong Kong are SMEs, and the global landscape is changing, is very challenging. So the Hong Kong government is having different policies and schemes helping the SMEs for transformation. And AI is the future, and we would strongly support the SME doing their business using AI for their transformation. That's why in our BUD funding scheme, we will have special consideration for SMEs using AI for doing their business. Regarding the question on IP, intellectual property is a very important element in innovation and technology. And under the 15th five-year plan, innovation and technology is a major development for the economy. And under the innovation and technology development, there will be many research, invention, etc. And it will involve IP registration. And IP registration in Hong Kong is very important, and we need resources and training for people in the field so that they will have the ability for doing the evaluation, doing the examination, and etc., etc. So there is a scheme for the intellectual property department to work with VTC to set up an academy to train the people on different aspects on IP. And it is to facilitate the development on innovation technology and other business, as well as building Hong Kong as a regional intellectual property trading center. Thank you.
As regards the development of autonomous vehicle, Hong Kong has been a very suitable environment for the development of autonomous vehicle driving. On the other hand, we have also a very matured financial center which can provide funding and financing platform. Over the past 1 or 2 years, the Transport Department has been supporting and facilitating various trial projects of autonomous vehicles, including trial projects in the Airport Island, Tung Chung, Kai Tak, and recently we have also extended the trial project from Kai Tak to Kowloon Bay, and we have also extended the trial from Tung Chung to Sunny Bay. In order to actively facilitate and take forward the further development of autonomous driving, we have announced that the Transport Department will set up an AV development facilitation group. And this group will be set up within March. It will comprise members of various trades, professionals, and government departments. The aim is to formulate a clear roadmap for the development of driverless mode of driving and scaling up the existing trial projects into cross-district operation, and lastly, to map out a clear licensing regime for the commercial operation of autonomous vehicle.
唔該，係下一條問題，係嗰邊。
Next question, please. Good afternoon, I'm from TVB. I have a question for Ms. Mabel Chan. It is said in the budget that we are going to cancel the one-for-one replacement scheme for electric vehicles. The government explains that the EVs are competitive enough on the market. However, the sectors is of the view that the luxury EVs will drop in sales, and some drivers may convert it to using traditional fuel-propelled vehicles from EVs. It is also said that we are going to commission T2 very soon, and you talked about attracting investment and enterprises. However, we barely see any tenants in 11 Skies. Will that undermine our image? I also like to ask about low-altitude economy. On cross-boundary unmanned aircraft or drones or man-carrying aircraft, what is your views, and will there be any form of collaboration? Thank you. Regarding T2, it will be commissioned on the 27th of May this year. Over the past few months, we have been working with local airlines and overseas airlines on it. At least 15 airlines will be stationed at this T2, and we will build more departure facilities to enhance passenger processing capabilities and to divert the passenger flow at T1 during peak hours. We will continue to try to attract investment and enterprises. Regarding 11 Skies, that's about agreements between the airport authority and some developers. We will continue to monitor the implementation of the relevant agreements. On low-altitude economy, we have this Sandbox X project, and we will continue to roll out more complicated application scenarios involving cross-boundary flow of logistics and goods and man-carrying drones. We will adopt this safety-first approach, and we have already collected some applications for the Sandbox X. Very soon, we will announce some figures. And as for your first question on electric vehicles, overall speaking, the SAR government has been encouraging the development of new energy vehicles. That's why over the past few years, the Environment and Ecology Bureau have rolled out a series of measures to promote the use of EVs. Very recently, they have promulgated a blueprint and a roadmap on charging. The Financial Secretary over the past few days have explained about the EV-related measures, so I have nothing to add. Thank you.
The reporter in grey. I'm from Cable TV News. Good morning. again on electric vehicles. Well, as soon as the news broke out, many people rushed to buy the electric vehicles. So do you think that there will be a drastic increase in the number of EVs registered? Are you going to expedite the process? And are you going to adjust the fees so as to increase the government's revenue? In 2030, there will be over 290,000 electric vehicles, but in fact there were only 250,000 in the year 2025. Are you worried that with the little time left, you are not able to achieve the target and you are not able to phase out all the petrol vehicles by 2035? In the first half of this year, you're going to have the unmanned aircraft framework in the beginning, in the first half of this year, and which cities will be the collaboration partners in relation to development of low altitude economy? I think almost enough in relation to your questions. For electric vehicles, all that I can say is that all the time the Transport Department has always been supporting the EEB in relation to the relevant policies as well as the implementation of the initiatives. The Transport Department has got sufficient manpower, and in fact, we have already liaised with the relevant stakeholders on the announcement of the news. So I believe that they can properly carry out the measures. In relation to LAE, well, in fact, we hope that we can give utmost priority to safety, and we hope that we can start with the nearer places, and we can start with a lower weight, and then we can start with a simpler scenario, moving forward to more complicated scenarios. And then we hope that we can have multiple applications or multiple users. So for LAE, unmanned passenger carrying aircraft, I think we need to have good planning for that. We believe that within this year, we have the action plan on developing LAE. And within that context, we are going to look at the planning and establishment of the relevant traffic management system will also align with the regional and international regulatory standards. For cross-boundary logistics, in fact, currently we have had liaison with the relevant authorities, like the port authorities, etc. We are trying to identify suitable routes, articles involved, etc. We have the Sandbox X, and with that, we will be able to take this forward, and we can make further announcements to the community in relation to cross-boundary logistics. Yes, the other reporter, the one dressed in black. I'm from Mingpao. Good morning. A question on EV, that's for Ms. Chen. After scrapping the scheme, well, in fact, since November and in the next few years to come, the license fees will increase. So do you think that as a result of the drastic increase of the operation costs, the number of EVs will drop? And do you expect some adjustments to the registration fees so as to provide an incentive to owners or buyers of EVs? $100 million will be set aside to attract mega international conferences and exhibitions. Do you have any KPIs for the year, and how many exhibitions, how many visitors, and which ones have you got in mind? And then for the listing requirements, you would like to facilitate the aviation or aerospace-related enterprises to come. Some of them have come, but then they have been incurring a cost, and they even have rent arrears, and they left Hong Kong. Do you know about the difficulties in staying in Hong Kong? And do you believe and do you agree with me that aerospace development is not that easy in Hong Kong? So what measures have you got to help such aerospace enterprises to come to Hong Kong to get listed? Well, for EVs, last year we already said that the license fees will be increased, and as a result of legislative amendments, and in fact there was a detailed discussion within the LegCo, and we phased out the increases, and we listened to the feedback, and as a result we moved in an orderly manner, and we tried to phase the increases in relation to the license fees. And in fact, the new arrangements have come into place. Thank you for your question concerning the $100 million funding for exhibitions. Exhibitions is a good economic driver for Hong Kong. In the past, this exhibition industry contributes to 2.1% of our GDP. For every visitor for our exhibitions, they spend roughly between $7,000 to $8,000 per night. So a great contributor to our economy. Post-COVID, our exhibition industry is reviving, both at the Hong Kong CEC and at the Asia World Expo. We have seen many major exhibitions being held at both places. As to how we can further enhance our value and further enhance our brand as an exhibition center, well, I think it is important for us to identify new attractions. For the $100 million fund, we'll try to cooperate with major organizers for mega exhibitions. We'd like to build up a brand name for Hong Kong's exhibition industry. We are looking at exhibitions that haven't come to Hong Kong before. Now we have got more venues, more spaces, and in fact for Hong Kong CEC, there's a plan for expansion. So as to the way forward, as to the kinds of exhibitions that we have got in mind, as to how we can attract more visitors to come to Hong Kong and stay longer, so as to support our retail, F&B industries, etc., etc., so as to achieve economic growth, we are working on it. We have in mind larger scale exhibitions like vehicle exhibitions, mechanical enterprises, yachts, and small-scale private jets are also what we have got in mind. We haven't made a decision yet. We still have to study the issue with the relevant stakeholders as to which innovative and large-scale exhibitions are suitable for Hong Kong so as to help with our economic growth. As to the question of the aerospace enterprises, the Hong Kong MA has got a good policy to help them to get listed. So it's a question more for the innovation and technology field as well as the financial services portfolio. But of course, in the budget, we have got this mentioned. Now we have got the low orbit satellite licensing regime to be revamped so that we can ease the requirements. We hope that in this way we can help the relevant enterprises to get listed in Hong Kong.
Next question. Good afternoon, I'm from Singtao. I have a question for Secretary Yao on the liquor tax. Why has it not been lifted? The year before, we relaxed the liquor tax, and what is the effectiveness? Ms. Chan said that we are going to policy support for popularizing EVs. However, with the scrapping of the one-for-one scheme, and with the increase in the licensing fee, it seems that it will undermine the development of EVs, and it seems that the government don't want to encourage people using PCs, private cars. Thank you. Well, let me share with you some figures. The price and the transactions volume of liquor has been on the rise significantly after the lifting of the tax. We lowered the tax in order to encourage trading of wine and liquor. We are not trying to encourage people to drink. We have to strike a balance between commerce and trade as well as people's health. We will continue to look into whether there is any room for us to further lower liquor tax. We are looking and visiting many countries producing strong liquor, and we believe that this will be a major driving force for our economy. Thank you. As for the question on electric vehicles, on the growth of private cars over the past few years is under control. As the EV market is developing and with more products and vehicle models, more and more people are purchasing electric private cars. The SAR government wants to encourage the development of new energy vehicles and the use of it. As the development and the technology of EV has become more mature and popular, we can see that we have more variety of EV models and the price is lower on the market. For us to promote the development and the use of new energy vehicles, we cannot just look at tax arrangements or license fees. Facilities are also important. That's why the Environment and Ecology Bureau have promulgated a blueprint on charging facilities. We're going to step up our support for EV charging. We want people to shift to electric private cars and commercial vehicles. For new energy commercial vehicles, we will work with the EEB to assist stakeholders and operators to assist and promote the use of e-commercial vehicles. Any other questions? The time is up. Let's take the last question.
So about the EV cars again. So on the ending of the one-on-one tax concession of the private electronic vehicles, so does the move indicate the government is switching its strategy from advocating the use of electronic vehicles to building an infrastructure for such use? And what's your comment on the knee-jerk market reaction, like people are rushing to buy electronic vehicles before the concession subsidy is ending following the announcement? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. The Hong Kong SAR government as a whole has been actively encouraging and promoting the use and development of new energy vehicles, including private vehicles and commercial vehicles. Over the years, the government has been introducing various facilitation measures and financial subsidy measures in order to incentivize more people to switch their conventional private vehicles to electric vehicles. Apart from the tax incentive or the licensing fees measures, the Environment and Ecology Bureau has recently promulgated a blueprint within which they have mentioned a few key measures to strengthen the provision of infrastructure support, including charging facilities to facilitate EV vehicle owners to have more convenient access to EV charging facilities. So there will be a host of measures in order to continue to promote the use of EV vehicles. As regards commercial vehicles, my bureau will continuously work closely with the EEB in order to facilitate commercial vehicle trade to switch to the use of more new energy technology and new energy vehicles, including the provision and facilitation of charging as well.
好，多謝大家。
Thank you.